So I've been hearing this video on my timeline, and I have some things to say about it because it's part of the reason why a lot of people are not seeing God in the way that they feel or growing a relationship closest to Him. And it's because of this. This is in no way in any shape or form. It's the person who made the video. Her voice is amazing. Her style is amazing. It's sincere. She's very mindful. She's very demure in her voice. My concern is the lyrics to the song, which infuse confusion and distracts, prevents a real move and work in people's life. Here we go. So we're going to take this line by line. In the words of my grandmother, you're going to see where something in the water just ain't clean. Okay? So when it comes to this song, this is where you have to be mindful of the words that are coming out of your mouth and how it reflects your mentality. Okay, so let's jump in.
Don't give up on me yet.
First and foremost, implying that God is going to give up on you is not what He sent you here to do. When you accept that He sent you here for a reason and He is a man who cannot lie, then what are we talking about? He doesn't change His mind either. His immutability says He keeps His words, His promises, and He protects. Moving on.
I know I'm not your best bet.
Okay, here's the flag. In His word, it reads, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made." And what a lot of people don't know about this or understand about this means you are dressed to the nines, baby, means to the highest degree of perfection. No different than you wanting to go out on a date or prepare a meal. You do everything just right until it's perfect, until it's all set. That's how you were made. So when we start infusing words that sound good and don't make sense, stay with me. Let me know what's coming up for you in the comments. Then you have a problem with your spirituality and your mentality.
But I'm trying.
So there is such a disconnect when it comes to who you are and your identity. Because when you realize that just like a cell phone, God sent you here to the earth fully loaded, no different than your cell phone that comes with every app and application that you need in order to use it. You have everything you need. The problem is when your identity is wrapped up in society and not what the king says you are. This is the oldest game in the book, and it's been used since the beginning of time to get you in doubt and unbelief. And what religion does not teach is how to believe. So this is just part one. If you want to listen to part two, let me know in the comments how y'all feeling this, and I'll continue. Again, she has a beautiful voice, great talent, but there needs to be some accountability into our mentality and the words that are coming out of our mouth that are not in alignment with the original intent and in agreement with what the Creator said about His land, His people, and His plan. Because the message isn't getting taught that you are here for a purpose, that you were given divine authority as the divine being you are to complete a divine assignment that only you can divinely accomplish. And to say that you're here alone is basically telling the king that, excuse me, sir, you didn't give me enough. If he owns everything, how does that make sense? And not only that, but he sent you here with insurance. just in case you need some guidance, just in case you need some direction, just in case you need to tap back into where you come from. He gave you the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the governor who makes sure you know the will, the heart, and plans of the king. No different than Spain getting taken over by the Spanish, than France getting taken over by the French. They put a person in place to make sure everything was going to happen to represent the king so that it looks like the country that they came from. You're not alone. You just haven't tapped into your power or have relationship with your power to know how to navigate to get the secret keys for your situation, your scenario, or what it is you need to do. Because this is something you have to become, not pray about.
I know I need to grow still.
And this
I'm
was
trying.
almost authentic until the latter part of I'm trying. This is where we have more practice being in your flesh than you do in your spirit. So let's say I gave you a check for $50,000. It's signed. Here you go. I'm good for it. You know I'm good for it. But this is equivalent of you going, well, I'm going to just hold on to this check because I don't know if I should cash it. You have the power. It's been given to you. It is in your name. What are you waiting for? There's work to be done. You don't have to try anything because it's already been done. Now, you do have to become and being qualified for what you're made for. But when you understand power and the authority that's been given to you to operate in that power, honey. And for those who may be thinking, well, I'm only human, but you're not. And that's another one of those sayings that we've really made excuses acceptable over taking
Don't
responsibility.
leave me here alone.
So let's finish this up, the last portion. So I'm not going to repeat what I said about this earlier, but I will say this. The reason why most people feel that they're here alone is because they don't know their identity to be able to work on their purpose, that they're able to work on their plan for their vision so that they can have the promised provision and everything else that's available to them. It's not about giving up on you. It's not about leaving you here alone. It's what are you doing with the time that you're here so that you can bring your impact and influence as given to you by the King. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.